Hey, what's up, guys? Lindsay here. Got Ice Cream Man number 2, and then we can see this beautiful, breathtaking face. The camera doesn't even want to focus. It's so. Oh, there we go. She's got her philtrum, that little thing in between the bottom of your nose and the top of your lip. This guy draws them, and it makes everyone look even more creepy as fuck. Okay. So, this is an anthology. It deals with people in the same town, so the Ice Cream Man is the connective tissue to this whole thing. And this issue is called Rainbow Sprinkles. And I don't know why. And so we get this, we see this house, and you're like, that's not a pretty bad house. Oh god, what's going on in here is horrific. It's these two people who are heroin addicts. And this guy, he ain't doing so hot. Nobody makes sound when good things are happening. And the dialogue, I like the dialogue because it's written in a way that seems believable to a heroin addict. She's like, I know you see it's all, I'm surprised he used apostrophes, but there's no capitals at the beginning of the sentence. Because, you know, heroin addicts don't care about proper capitalization. They just don't. It's one of their many downfalls. I know you've been sick, you've been dope sick, laid up all shivers and gagging, and God, my God, if it doesn't just break my heart in 3 seeing you like this. I got you the cold compress like you asked, just like you requested, but it don't work, even a little, and ever is it hard to watch you suffer. I just can't stand it. A lot of repeating, a lot of repetition, and this total, I feel like, real world excuse for heroin addiction. We need more medicine, but you're too sick to cobble me, and anyway, we're out of cash. We got maybe $30 between us, that's it, and that's all. Just like thinking of it as medicine. I don't know, I can't remember if it explicitly states it's heroin. I think it's just supposed to be opioids, because, you know, we got a little bit of an epidemic on our hands in America. And we see how these two lovebirds came to be, because look, they used to look like humans, sort of. This guy his philtrum makes him kind of look like a cat person. That kind of looks like it could be a robot. So, we met, if you recall, at Bobby G's Club, off I forget the name of the street. And then he said, you got a dead bug in your hair, and it swept her off her feet. And so they started hanging out. Not going to show it, because you got to skip pages, because of copyright gods. They start hanging out in a park, which is normal, like, couple stuff. And then, oh no, this is where, oh geez. But then I think it was spring, we decided to try dope. Why not just once? And golly, oh god, it came to us right there. The smells of season. Look, if you do heroin, you never have to go outside, because your inside becomes outside. And apparently it smells like the season. All of the seasonings. Wow, this is a pretty good case for doing some heroin right here, because I like smells. Colorful birds in the air, you could taste the sunlight and know the world was good and there was good in it if you could just taste that, couldn't you? And then, oh, it's so beautiful, she's crying. Oh no, this is the reality? Look at her, she's purposely drawn like, in your hand. If your hand is doing that and you don't have like cerebral palsy, it's an issue. You can't, and you know you're right-handed, so you can't do anything. It's just, heroin has to be good. Because everyone knows it's so bad, it must be great. One day. And then you start to see where it starts going downhill. I mean, it started going downhill once you started looking like that, but you know. We robbed that poor old lady with the oxygen tank. Let it go, hag! You don't have to call her a hag. But I feel like you do. If you do rob an old lady and you don't reference the fact that she's old, I feel like that would weigh on my conscience. It's like, I should have just called her an old bitch or something. Because I know what we did was wrong, but we needed her to sell her oxygen tank for $200. I don't think they're $200, man. I've seen people in Walmart with oxygen tanks and they don't look expensive. They make some that come in little backpacks. Somebody does it. I don't think your dealer. Oh no, this is the pawn shop. I think this might be one of the pawn shop guys who overpays for everything. And then he tells her, "Baby, don't worry. I'll carry the guilt for this here. Don't you carry any of it. Your soul is clean and let me bear the weight, baby doll, my doll." That's not how guilt works, guys. There's no guilt transference. That's the whole point of it, is you have it and you can't get rid of it. But I like the way the writer phrased this. It kept on, and we did a bad thing to get a good thing. A bad thing to get a good thing. That's a bad thing to get a good thing. She repeats that several. And then even the dealer's like, "Man, this is the third time this week for the two of you." When your dealer brings it up, you've got a problem. Because, you know, he's making money. But he's like, "Look, if you die, I can't make any more money off of you guys. I don't." And then they keep selling oxygen tanks or whatever, and then look at them. So happy. Oh, well, I forgot. How do these people get houses? How do heroin addicts get houses? Because they pretty much started doing drugs right off the bat. Who's going to let them rent from them? It looked like a nice house in like a suburban area. Every time you see a heroin addict, they're either homeless or they have a house. And I don't understand how they get it. How do they just... How do? So, we cut back to the house, and Karen is her name. Karen is like, "I'm going to go out and do a bad thing to get a good thing." And then we cut to a few miles away, and we see this old man who's complaining that his body's falling apart because he's old. Apparently, he used to be a piano virtuoso, but not with that face, I don't think. Because he's still, like, I know he's old now, but his face has kind of looked like that face for his whole life, and he looks already like a dead body. He looks like a mummy. It looks like an old mummy. That's not racist, he just looks like that. I can't help it if a man looks like an old mummy. And she tells him while he's complaining, "Your soup's getting cold, Phil." And you can tell he's not paying attention. He starts mentioning he's had surgeries. And they keep giving him pills to make him better. And then they keep upping the dosage. And they do that. So it's sort of like, here's the worst kind of addiction that we have that we don't really care about. And here's the flip side of sort of the same addiction, because I've heard on the radio and read stuff where it's generally people who get hooked on opioids, then they'll go to heroin, is the correct way to go. If you want to do something right, get the pills from the doctor, and then when you run out of the pills, then you do the heroin. You don't want to do it the other way around, because it's just, people will be like, "What are you doing? You're a poser. Get out of here. Also, give me all your stuff, because I'm an addict." But, so we have the heroin addict people over here who are just disgusting, and then we just have like an old man who's just talking about pills. And his caretaker is like, "Look, you could walk around, get some exercise," and he's like, no way. And he just doesn't want to listen to her, and then he hit the final nail in the coffin. The soup, Alice. It's cold. Now, look. I know I'm going to lose. Nobody's watching this, but I'm going to lose you right now, because soup is not a food. I'm tired of this shit about soup being a food. What is soup going to do to repair this man's brittle bones? It's not a food. It should be next to the damn juices. Campbell should be going out of business. I'm tired of the whole world acting like soup is good. It's not. It's not a food. It's a damn liquid. There's no difference between soup and broth. Fight me. And then we see Karen. She's going around. She's trying to break into cars, but then she finds the ice cream van, ice cream mobile. She's having a great time. She says there's no traffic, but we can clearly see she's speeding around. She's like, oh, there's this whole thing where she is like, "Me and Jimbo are going to go to Arizona, like in the movies of our dreams." Is Chasing Arizona the one that has Nick Cage and his life fucking sucks? Nobody goes to Arizona. No one, I'm not even sure it's a state. Nobody goes there except for old people. And I'm basing that strictly off King of the Hill. So we have these two driving around. We've got the old couple about to get in their car. There's an encounter. I'm not going to show it because you need to go get it because it's still pretty good. And she does something bad. But not horror movie bad. Just, oh yeah, humanity is worthless. People are awful. And I just want to ask this. If you encounter a junkie, like a heroin addict, for me, since I live in Arkansas, it's going to be meth. And I'm pretty certain I've encountered those people for seconds before I realize, oh, there's something off about them. I don't have to be here. Because I'm not hanging out in their areas. It's when they venture out of their pre-designated areas that I see them. But I would just, in what scenario do you encounter someone who's addicted to drugs where you start screaming at them that they're an addict or a damn junkie? What way does that unfold to a positive ending for yourself? I know we all want to yell at people who are addicted to drugs and make fun of them. I get it. How could they have sunk so low? And that gives everyone permission to yell at them and berate them and call them a goddamn junkie. But they're unpredictable. You don't want to be yelling at a person who's unpredictable and be yelling at them that they're a junkie. They know. They're very aware of it. They lost all their personality. They have no character at all anymore. They're just addict. That's what they are. Is that insensitive? That's probably insensitive, but I'm just saying in that scenario, where it's you versus them, don't be yelling at them that they're fucked up, because I don't know, because I know we'll have the urge to, but I'm just saying, for safety, don't. Or if you're looking to mix it up, I don't know, maybe you had a rough go of it lately, you wanna experience some real shit? Do it. So Karen runs back, she's like, Jimmy, we gotta get out of here. So I was like, someone says hi, Karen, look at that. See that? She would look 80% better if she didn't have that philtrum, that thing, that line. But she still wouldn't look good. And then here's my boy, the ice cream man. He's like, oh, Jim here is not looking so hot. I was pretty certain he was dead the whole time. Except for, I think that sound he made was a death rattle. Straight up. And the ice cream man, he's like a dealer. He's a wheeler dealer, and he's like, you borrowed my truck, and she's like, your truck, don't worry about it, I've got plenty. What? How? Aren't ice cream trucks, like, specially made? You're not converting a thing into an ice cream truck. Or are you? I don't know. Our ice cream man / snowcone man, it's a van that he converted, so I don't know. So he's like, you're wondering why I'm here. That's assuming, of course, that this stuff hasn't completely erased your ability to think critically. I never understood the appeal. Ice cream man, I'm with you on this. He's like, I'm here, Karen, to offer you a treat, a little something for your sweet tooth. Well, I'm surprised she has teeth. That's normally when you start doing drugs, I feel like your teeth are like, we don't need this. Your teeth, they leave before it gets real bad. Why don't your organs do that? You heard it here first. Teeth are smarter than organs. He's like, the best you've ever had, purer than pure. Makes this other stuff seem like microwave dinners, but here's a rub. There's only enough for one person, I'm afraid. You, the recent and harried fugitive, or poor Jimbo here, writhing on the couch in withdrawal. A real humdinger. Better choose quick. The sirens are getting awful close. This is the last page I'm going to show you, but why can't you split it? It's obviously, you know what it reminds me of? Like those, like, stress balls that are kind of filled with sand. Oh, that'd probably fuck you up if you smoked a little. Why can't you share? I guess she's like, once you're this far gone, you know, you have to have the majority. This seems like a lot. This seems like a lot of heroin. Then you can see it's like, oh, Jim, you're probably like almost dying and I'm like still alive. So it is a real humdinger. But I like this. The first issue was sort of more horror-ish. And then we cut back to be like, oh yeah, real problems in our society. But, you know, I'm hooked in. Go get this so you can see the conclusion. Go get this so you can see how the two parties of this hooked up the mummy man and Karen here. But yeah, go get this, pretty good. Maybe subscribe if you want. Have a good one, guys.